start at the end of your mat. Your feet will be about hip distance apart. And we're just going to do sort of this nice warm-up flow with the breathing. And to get your spine warmed up, to get the hamstrings stretched, the glutes stretched, and just your whole body sort of circulating and warming up. So we'll have your knees soft, the spine long, and we'll imagine, as always, that we've got that string just pulling straight up toward the ceiling, creating as much space as possible between the vertebral bodies. And we'll take some nice deep breaths with your shoulders back, breathing in, feeling the rib cage expanding out to the sides. As you exhale, feel the ribs coming in closer to one another, and also as a whole coming back closer to the spine, like a funnel. Inhaling to feel the ribs coming out wide. And exhale, feeling them come in. And we're feeling your footprint solidly across the mat. You can feel underneath your toes and the balls of your feet and your heels. Just a little movement there. It's feeling solid on the floor. And again, that from the crown of your head stretching up. And we're just going to bring your chin down towards your chest like we would normally do for a roll down. And with your abdominals pulled in towards your spine, we're just going to gently roll down bone by bone by bone. And on this initial roll down, we're just bringing the hands down as far as they're willing to go. We don't have to force anything. Until we can feel that stretch from the heels all the way up your legs, hamstrings, and into the glutes. And up and over and down your spine through the crown. And we'll take a breath in and exhale to roll back up. We're feeling that stretch bone by bone by bone by bone as you come up, stacking the spine. And remember, we're always using the abdominals to push one vertebrae up at a time rather than pulling with your back. We'll roll the shoulders back twice. And we'll roll them forward twice. And on that last forward roll, we'll continue with a chin tuck and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Just going right into the next one. And maybe you'll already be able to stretch a little further. Remember to keep your knees just a little soft. And we'll exhale to roll back up, using your abdominals to push your vertebrae up one at a time. And we'll roll the shoulders back twice and roll them forward twice. And on that last one, rolling back down again. So you can start to feel the flow. Just breathe, letting your breath just sort of help with the rhythm of your body. And we'll roll up. Abdominals pushing you up one bone at a time. And rolling back twice. And rolling forward twice, warming up those shoulder joints. And roll down. All the way. Nice good stretch here. And exhale, tuck your tailbone, pulling your tummy in to roll up. Roll your shoulders back twice. And roll forward twice. And on this last one, we're going to roll down as before, bone by bone by bone. And we're going to stay down this time, bringing your hands to the floor. And we'll walk all the way out. And we're going to stop when your hands are underneath your armpits and move into a plank. Okay, so then once you're there with your hands under your armpits, we're going to slow as you can, lower, lower, lower your body to the floor. And then you're relaxed there. And then from this point, we're just going to lift up, kind of past, not quite a full cobra, just about to here. At that point, push up onto your knees And stretch back into a child's pose. Feeling that nice stretch all the way along your armpits and your back, down to the hips. Tuck the toes under. And then with your hands planted on the floor, we're going to push back into a downward dog or inverted V, pushing the floor away, pushing the heels down toward the floor. And then we're going to walk your hands back towards your feet, trying to keep your hips as still as possible. Good. The knees are soft. Tuck the tailbone, and we roll all the way up. And roll the shoulders around twice, backward. Roll them forward twice. And at the end of that second one, the chin comes down again, and we roll back down. As before, hands come to the floor, and we begin to walk out, keeping those hips steady. And we walk back out into that position as though we're going to do a tricep push-up, so the hips are low. And we lower, 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 and down. Good. Press back, lifting the chest into your child's pose or shell pose. Tuck your toes and press back into that downward facing dog or inverted V. Feeling that stretch all the way up along the back of the hips. And walk your hands back towards your feet, softening the knees. Tuck the tailbone and roll up. Roll the shoulders back twice. And roll them forward twice. Chin comes down. And we roll down again. Continuing with this flow. Walking your hands out into your plank. Lowering down, 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 down. Down the legs. Lift the chest. Push back, hinging the knees. Tuck your toes. Push into your downward dog or inverted V, pushing the floor away from you. Walk your hands back towards your toes. Feel that stretch along the back of the legs. Soften the knees to roll up. Good. Shoulders back twice. And we roll forward twice. Chin down and roll. Hands to the floor, walking out. Good. Lower, 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 lower. Legs long. Cobra up and through. Stretch. And toes tuck under. Press back to your downward dog or inverted V. And we walk back. Softening the knees to roll up. Good. This one will be a little different once we're down there. We're going to roll twice. And roll forward twice. Chin down. Roll bone by bone by bone to the floor. Walk your hands out. Shoulders right over your armpits. Slowly lower, 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 lower. And we'll press back into your child's pose. This is where we'll pause here for a moment. We're going to rock forward onto all fours. Then we'll bring your right foot forward and bring it between your hands. Okay, and then from that point, you can either hinge forward so that your back knee stays on the mat, Or you can tuck your toe and lift that back leg so that you're in a runner's lunge. And we want to stay lifted up in the pelvis and abdominals, so we're not just sinking. We're pressing the hands into the floor, so we're lifting up away from the floor. And we'll take the hand that's on the outside of that front foot and lift it. Rotate and look up toward your hand that's reaching to the sky. And we stretch. And breathe, staying lifted in the abdominals and pelvis. And we'll bring that hand down. And we'll sneak that right leg back so that you're in your plank again. And we're going to lower down toward the floor. Lower, 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 lower. And we're going to lift back into your child's pose. Nice long stretch. We'll come back onto all fours. And we'll bring your left foot forward between your hands. As before, you can hinge forward, keeping that back knee on the floor. Or you can tuck your toe and lift the back leg. Pressing into the floor, staying lifted in the abdominals and pelvis. The hand that's toward the outside of your front foot will come up and we'll gaze up toward it. And we stay lifted, shoulders back. And breathe. Okay, we can bring that hand down. Left foot goes back, so we're back in our plank one more time to lower down. Slowly, 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 slowly. And we press back into child's pose one last time. Tuck your toes under. Press back into your downward facing dog or inverted V one more time. Pressing the floor away from you. Pressing back into the hips. Walk your hands back towards your feet, keeping your hips as stable as possible. Just check how much more you're able to stretch right here than where we started. Tuck the tailbone, use the abdominals to roll up. One vertebrae at a time. And we'll roll the shoulders. One more time, both ways. And good. Okay, so you should be warmed up and we're going to move to the floor. And I'm just going to adjust the screen here so that you'll be able to see that. And we have our bar down there waiting. Okay, so we're going to start on your back. Oops, I'm going to adjust my window shade, sorry. Let's see. Okay, we're going to lay on your mat. And we'll extend your arms back overhead, reaching long through the legs. We're encouraging length in the spine, as always, particularly that distance between your rib cage and hips on either side. So we'll stretch the right arm and right leg away from one another, and you get a little more distance between the rib cage and hip on the right. And we'll do the same on the left, trying to create a little more distance there. Right side again, left side again, and both. And then we'll bring your hands around, glide the shoulder blades down, And rest your hands on your ribs so you can feel as we breathe in through the nose, feeling the rib cage expand without any movement in the shoulders. And exhale, feel them funnel down. Inhale through your nose, feel the ribs expand. And exhale, feel that movement under there. Feel how strong those muscles are. We'll do one more. Good. Okay, now we're going to bend your knees. Oh my goodness, I forgot my ring. So we're going to bend your knees, take your ring, we're going to put that in between your knees. And we'll just rock your pelvis up and down a couple times. Remember, we always want it. If you want to peek down, you can see if it's tipped up or if it's down flat. We want to keep a flat pelvis so that your hip bones are pointed directly toward the ceiling. Okay, we're going to feel that breath into the ribs. And as you exhale, we're also going to squeeze the ring, engaging the pelvic muscles. We'll try not to use the legs. And breathe in. And exhale, squeeze. And breathe in. And exhale, squeeze. We'll do a couple more. We can imagine all of your muscles just drawing in close to the spine, the whole length of it, stabilizing in this position. Okay. We'll bring your arms up and back. We're just going to do some arm circles here, inhaling to prepare. Keep that pelvis flat as we exhale and curl. And then you can see that your hips are still the same. Inhale around and exhale over and around. Exhale over and around. When we come up, we just come up high enough that your shoulder blades are up off the floor. And up and over. Sweep around. And up and over. Sweep around, squeezing the ring each time with the Kegel, those Kegel type squeezing muscles. We'll do one more. And we're going to reverse that. So we're going to sweep in, curling up here. And sweep in. And sweep in. And sweep in. And sweep in. One more. And sweep in. Good. Okay, then we're going to grab the bar. So you can use anything you like. It could be a broomstick. It can be, this is only 6 pounds right here. You could also hold hand weights to do this. A couple of smaller hand weights. You just want to have your arms straight across as if you were holding a straight bar. And we're going to inhale. As you bring the bar back, feel your shoulders glide down towards your hips. And we exhale and curl the same way. Inhale back. Exhale, curl. Think of the sequence, breath, arms, body. So the breath starts, arms, then the body. Ooh, two more. Last one. Good. You can bring the bar back behind you or place it to your side. Okay, keeping your feet planted on the floor, arms long at your side. We're going to do a set of hundreds here. And remember, we inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 while pumping the arms. And on your exhale for 5, that's when we're going to be deepening the squeeze in the pelvic floor on your ring. So inhale, prepare. Exhale up into your 100 curl. So we have this placement here with your arms just above your tummy. Pelvis is flat, so we drop the tailbone if we need to. And we'll start pumping the arms with an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll come back down. Okay. Then we're going to get your bar again. And we'll bring your feet a little bit closer to your glutes. And we'll hold the bar just above your chest or your weights, or you don't have to have anything here. Just do your arms. And we're going to inhale to prepare. And as we exhale, we're going to just leave the elbows on the floor. And exhale, squeeze your ring with the pelvic muscles. And this time also your glutes and your inner thighs. And we're going to squeeze and lift and lower. And squeeze, lift, and lower. Squeeze, lift, and lower. Squeeze, lift, and lower. Squeeze, lift, and lower. Lift, and lower. Lift, and lower. Squeeze, and lower. Squeeze, and lower. Squeeze, and lower. Squeeze. Last one, we're going to squeeze up and hold it. And then we'll lower your hips just a little bit. And as you squeeze and lift back up, we'll press that bar. As we lower the hips a little bit, we'll lower the bar and press. Lower and press. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to hold on 10 here, and now just squeezes. Squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and down. Okay, then we can take the ring out. We're going to stretch your legs all the way along. Put the ring aside. Okay, we're going to reach your legs really long with the toes flexed back towards you and your heels reaching. We'll bring the bar back up. And so with an isometric curl, again, we don't bring the shoulders any higher up than just the tips of your shoulder blades. And we're thinking about that space between hips and ribs, making an accordion. So it helps if we just really continually stretch through the heels, shoulders down and back. Inhale, bring the bar back. And exhale, we curl right about to here so that pelvis is still flat. And we're just contracting that spot between hips and ribs. Inhale back. And exhale, curl. Isometric crunch. And 3. And 4. And 5. When you come back, we don't make a big arch in your back. Keep the rib cage tucked. Keep the pelvis flat. Good. One more. And reach. Good. And down. Okay, so now we're going to put one end of the bar down by your hip, and your hand can be around it just like this, just to stabilize it on the floor. We're not grabbing it. And this top hand is just going to be, again, just resting it above your chest. We're thinking about the obliques. If you don't have a bar, then we're going to be bringing the right arm just across toward that left toe. Okay, this just adds a little more weight to it. Okay, as we exhale, we're going to curl and reach and back. Press and back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we'll switch so that bar is still just down on the floor. This arm is like a chest press. We exhale and push down. So we're turning the ribs a little, bringing this rib toward that toe. And down. And we'll put the bar up for a little bit. And we'll take your ring and we're going to stretch our hamstrings. Start with the left side today. So bring your left foot up into your ring. My left side is always very tight, so I'm going to leave the right knee bent for a minute while I get it ready. And remember, first and foremost, you want to have that space under your back, so you can check that out and make sure that it's staying there and that your pelvis is staying flat while we stretch the hamstrings on that left side. And you can soften like a mini squat here and press back up. And soften. We're just working with these muscles. We want to find the stretch right in here as opposed to behind your knee. Interested in the belly of the muscle here. Hold and breathe. Keeping your right hip down, we can bring that left leg out to the side. Careful, if that right hip starts to roll up at all, that's too far. Lift up and check it out. And we're going to bring it in, and you can switch hands to bring it across your body and stretch the other way, keeping your opposite shoulder on the floor. Okay. Come on up. Bring that foot down. Extend your right one up. Bring your right leg out to the side, keeping your left hip down on your mat. When you think about using the muscles in your right leg to place your leg out to the right rather than letting it fall, then that helps keep the left hip down. Pull that leg across, keeping your right shoulder on the floor, the left leg or the right leg go across your body. Back to center. You're going to tuck your knees in. We're going to put the ring in your ankles. We're going to do our second set of hundreds here. Bringing your legs straight up to 90 degrees, externally rotated. Okay, and from here, we're going to come up into that hundreds prep, reaching your fingertips long. Again, squeezing on the exhale for 5, squeezing that ring. So we'll start. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and in 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend your knees. Take the ring and stretch. And down. Okay, we'll let your knees go side to side. Okay, then we're going to do just a little bit more with the ring here. Bring them back into your legs again, into your ankles. And we've got our hamstrings all stretched out. So with your hands on your ribs so you can feel your breath, we're going to bring the legs first to tabletop. Extend them up again. Turn out. We're keeping that neutral spine, and we're just going to feel that breath underneath your ribs. Inhaling. And as you exhale and feel your breath funnel, also squeeze the ring, turn the thighs out even more, and squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze from deep in the pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Work on getting those knees straight and squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, just keep those legs straight. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. One more. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. And we'll bend your knees. Take a little break. Okay, and then one more here. And put it in your ankles, and then let them rest for a minute while we get a hold of your bar. Okay, you can also do this with an arm press. Okay, so bring the knees to tabletop. We're holding the bar up. Extend your legs. And we're going to inhale, bring the bar back. And exhale, curl, bringing the bar towards your shins. Inhale, back. Exhale, curl. 2. And back. Curl, 3. And back. Curl, 4. And back. Curl, 5. And back. Curl, 6. Back. And 7. And back on this last one. We're going to hold. Hinge the legs down as we bring the bar to the chest and lift for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Bend your knees and down. You can take the ring out, put it to the side. And we'll let your knees go side to side. You can always stretch anytime you have a second. Okay. And then we're going to bring your elbows in close to you. Okay. And then we're going to have your knees at tabletop. And they're very close together now. And we're thinking about like when we're on the reformer and we're doing the tricep presses and extending the legs out long together with the arms. So we're going to inhale, prepare. And as we exhale, we're going to curl up, extending the arms and the legs so they're parallel to one another. We're going to come in and exhale, lengthen, and in, and stretch, and in, and press, and in, and press, and press. Those elbows just stay close to you like when we do tricep push-ups. Press, and press, and press, and press, and press, and press. We'll do 3 more. 2, and 1, and down. Okay, we'll put the bar up for a bit. And we'll take your ring. And this time you can leave your feet just flat on the floor with kind of an open angle here at the hips so they can have a break. We're going to hold the ring with your elbows just barely hovering above the floor, and thumb and fingers reaching for the ceiling so that we can feel your back muscles squarely on the mat, shoulder blades open. And we're going to feel that sensation again of the rib cage opening with the breath. So we inhale, feel the ribs side to side. And as you exhale, squeeze the ring and try to squeeze it with those back muscles as well as those intercostal and subcostal rib cage muscles. You can feel your neck lengthen as the shoulder blades glide down and the rib cage funnels down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Okay, now we're going to add the legs in. We're going to do an abduction, so open and close. We'll bring the legs up, heels together, toes apart. As you breathe in, we open, feel that stretch. Flex your heels, squeeze. Inhale. 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 Squeeze. Inhale. Bring the arms up, shoulders are still anchored down. Inhale. 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 And we'll bring the ring back and add a curl. Inhale. And hold that curl. Inhale. 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 We'll do 2 more. And in. Bend. And down. Okay, we can put the ring to the side. We'll extend your legs out long. And we'll get a hold of your bar again. Or you can hold your ring. We're not going to use the ring in the legs now, so you can use your ring instead for this part. We're going to do a roll-up. So we'll have your legs really long and we'll take a breath in. Remember, breath, arms, body in that order. So take a breath and exhale. Roll up 1 vertebrae at a time and stretch. Okay? So this is where, if we have a sensitive tailbone, we put an extra little cushion underneath. Sensitive hips. And we're going to do a roll down series with some overhead presses. And when we do the overhead presses, we're working on sitting up just as tall as you can get, particularly in the lower back. Okay, and so I know with my arms, I think will get cut off maybe in the frame here, but I'm going to be pressing straight up overhead. And when we press up, we want to be pushing down with the shoulder blades. Okay, so we're going to roll back and we'll have our bar extended straight up. Okay, and we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first time, once we roll up, we're gonna do 5 presses with the bar. So we'll inhale, prepare, and exhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. That bar will come up with you. Shoulders are back, and we'll do 5 presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold on 5. Tuck your tailbone and roll back. Okay, and we roll up again. Breath, arms, body. Open up those armpits for 4 presses, sitting really tall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck and roll back. The shoulders release as we're rolling down. Try not to skip any bones of your back. Exhale, roll up. Again, no skipping bones. All the way up for 3. 1, 2, and 3. And back. Exhale, roll up. Good. For 2, 1, and 2, and back. And exhale for 1. And tuck and roll back. And we'll put the bar down. Okay, and we're going to roll over onto your belly. Okay. So we're going to stretch your quadriceps. So we spent some time on the hamstrings. Now we're going to do your quadriceps, the opposing muscle group, or the agonist-antagonist muscle group for that. Shoulders back. We'll sweep the right hand around and we'll grab your foot. We should feel that in the front of the thigh, maybe all the way up to where the thigh meets the hip. We can put some pressure into that arm on the floor to lift. And keep the neck long. There's always a tendency to do this, and so I have to always remind myself to bring my head down. I want to keep that thigh straight too. Just watch that your knee's not out to the side. Let that leg go. We'll bring the other leg around. Feel your stretch first. And we can press into the floor with the other arm. Lift up a little bit, shoulders back. We'll let that leg go. Okay, then we're just going to have your arms in this kind of squished diamond. They can be crisscrossed here, shoulders back, and the neck really long. Feel both hip bones on your mat, legs really reaching long behind you. And we're going to keep your neck really long, and we're going to lengthen and lift the body a little bit, and then a little more, and then a little more, just to where as far as you can. So we're feeling that the full length of the spine, and then gently come the rest of the way down. And we'll lift a little bit, and a little more, and a little more, and down, and lift, a little more, and down. And we'll lift a little more, a little more, and down. And lift a little more, a little more, and down. And lift a little more, and down. And again, lift a little more, and down. All the way. Okay? Then we're going to keep your hands, or bend them in a little bit more so your forehead can stay on your hands. Shoulders back, and we're going to lift the upper body, the arms and the body together. And we're just going to lift and hover. And we're going to hold that, extend your right arm forward all the way around like you're swimming, and bring it in. And again, forward and around and in. Forward and around and in. Forward, around and in. Forward, around and in. Left side. Forward, around and in. Forward, around and in. Forward, around and in. Forward, around and in. Last one. Forward, around and in and down. Okay, so then we can release the upper body, shoulders back, both hip bones on the mat, and we're going to have your legs, they should be about hip distance apart. Feeling both hip bones on your mat, we're going to lengthen and lift the right leg as far as it will go without coming off the mat, and bring it down. And then the left side, as far as it will go without coming off the mat and down. We're going to alternate, and it's a pretty simple movement, but we want to do it without your hips shifting. So imagine that you have a glass of water sitting right here on your sacrum, and we don't want it to tip side to side. So you're staying as still as you can, using your glutes, having those, the pelvic muscles and glutes are squeezing. Neck is long still, shoulders back. We'll do one more on the right, one more on the left. Bring your heels together, toes apart. We're going to lengthen and lift both. And on this next one, we're going to hold, just hovering those thighs barely above the mat, open a little and close. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And down. Arms and legs outstretched, feeling both of your ribs and your hips on the mat. Shoulders back. We're going to raise the right arm and left leg. Again, trying not to wobble side to side. Left arm, right leg. As smooth as you can. Keeping your torso, everything between the shoulders and hips, just really still. So you should feel the muscles in your middle and lower back working. It shouldn't hurt, but you should feel them working. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Bring your hands under your shoulders. And push up and back onto all fours. And we'll go into our angry cat. Belly button coming up toward the spine. And then keeping your belly button pulled in, bring the shoulders back, crown of the head and tailbone can come up. And back. This time we'll go right into neutral, so a nice long spine, shoulder blades back. And we'll extend your right, same thing, want to keep your torso very still without wobbling. We'll bring your right arm and left leg out. Five, four, three, two, one. Slowly bring them in so when we switch, there's not a lot of movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more on each side. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll sit back in child's pose. And we can sweep your arms all the way around to the sides and back. And from here, we're going to tuck your tailbone, but you feel that rounding and that stretch starting way down low. Pull your belly button back toward each section of spine here as you roll up one vertebrae at a time, lengthening all the way up. If you need to come up onto your knees, if your knees don't like to be bent like that, that's fine. We're going to bring your hands up on either side of your sternum, stretching all the way up, gazing up toward the sky, arms around, opening your chest, opening the sternum, and down, and rolling the shoulders. And very good.